just for a couple of days now, and it's going to be even warmer tomorrow. I might even get in the pool. I know. And Denise, that butter on top of the steak, what an awesome tip. I'm going to do that from here on out. What a great idea. So yummy. Okay, so let me fix my little thing here. Okay, so I have some really great tips. I know that things are kind of becoming slightly normal in the world right now, and that would be that we can start having people over. We can start venturing out in the world. People can come and you can entertain people at your house or in your backyard. So I wanted to share with you guys some fun little things that I like to do when I entertain at my house, whether we're inside during a rainy barbecue or outside, or if we're going on a picnic and we're out and about or traveling in our car, ways that we can use Tupperware that's really going to save you a lot of money, a lot of time, make you kind of look like an ultimate Martha Stewart kind of girl, right? Like you just have your act together. Tupperware helps you look like that, okay? So when guests come over to your house, the first thing I always do is I offer them a beverage, right? We want to, would you like some water? Would you like some wine? Right? So the first thing I'm going to share is a couple of tips and tricks for beverages. So something I like to do when I have company over, I don't go to the grocery store and buy a big pack of bottled water, right? Because we all know what happens after those bottled waters are sipped on maybe 2 or 3 times. There's wasted water. We don't know whose it is. And the other thing is there's a leftover plastic bottle that is going to end up in the trash, or it's going to go in my recycle bin, and it's going to go who knows where after that, right? So what I like to do is I'll take a That's bowl or a Fix and Mix bowl, and I'll fill it with ice. So I did this like an hour ago, so my ice is somewhat melted. And I fill up all of our little water bottles, and I try to do a mixture of different colors, and I use like different shapes and sizes, and I'll fill my ice bucket and fill all of our water bottles with water. And then when guests come over and they want a bottled water, they can come in and grab their bottled water. And the great thing is because I have different colors, different sizes, different shapes, everybody knows whose water is theirs, and there's no confusion, right? And then throw them in the dishwasher when the day is done. So that's how I offer my water at my parties. The next thing is if somebody wants a glass of wine, right? It might be hot out, might be hot, or inside the house. You don't want your wine to get too warm, right? You want it to be slightly chilled, but you don't want to put ice in your wine, right? If we're a wine snob, you don't want to water down your wine, right? So a great way to do that is to take some grapes. When you put them in your fridge smart, set aside a few of them and bring out your freezer mates, rinse off your grapes, clean them up really good, take them off the vine. And speaking of vine, here's a little tip for you when you're at the grocery store getting your grapes. If you've never heard this before, I hope you'll remember it. Stems of brown, put them down. Stems of green, coming home with me. So stems of brown, put them down. Stems of green, coming home with me. And that just means when the stems are brown on your grapes, the grapes have already sucked the life out of that vine, and they are like at the end of their ripeness. They're almost overripe. So they're not going to last very long. We want them to be at their peak freshness so that they'll last as long as possible, right? So when they're nice and green, that means they still have a lot of life to them. Okay, so I took my grapes off of the vine, I rinsed them off really good, dried them, and I put them in my freezer mate, and I froze my grapes. So now I can take a couple of grapes, and instead of watering down their wine, I can now put those grapes into their little wine glass. That's what wine is, right? It's just some grapes. And now they have cute little ice cubes that are grapes, and at the end they can munch on them if they want to, right? So that's a fun little way to serve up a beverage. But also, if you want somebody to have a nice refreshing drink, maybe they don't want a cocktail, but they don't want just plain old water. And I don't know about you, but my family has a problem with drinking water. So I like to infuse our water, and I actually use our cold brew carafe. And you can make your cold brew tea, your cold brew coffee, but don't forget about putting some fruit inside your infusion sleeve here and having your water get infused with different flavors. So in this one here, I have oranges and blueberries. The oranges are so fresh and yummy and just makes it super yummy. This one has basil, strawberries, and cucumbers. Okay, so I can even take that and put it right into my little tumbler with a little strawberry on there, pour it in, and they'll have a beautiful, delicious, healthy, right, flavored infused water. Or you could take our universal pitcher that we have right now, which has a straining feature in the cap. And inside I have my son's favorite, which is mint, cucumber, and lime. He absolutely loves the cucumber and lime infused water. So I'm sure he'll probably drink this entire thing, and I'll know he's getting water. So there's your beverages, right? Everybody needs a beverage when they walk through the door. So the second thing is when you're having your meal, right, you are going to serve, let's just say you're going to have hamburgers. We're going to grill some hamburgers in our MicroPro grill. And you're thinking, well, how am I going to present all of the little things that go with burgers, right? You have all the condiments, you have all the toppings, right? And you're going to have a little dish or a bowl for each thing, and it's just going to make you crazy. So why not put it in your serving center? And the great thing about our serving center is with the cover, you can invert it and fill it with ice and put your condiments on top, and you don't have to worry about them, you know, getting to room temperature or anything like that. So you got your tomatoes, you've got your lettuce, I've got onions, we've got cheese slices, we have ketchup, which is really full. I just bought it, so it's tipping over. But then you can see all of your goodies for your hamburger and toppings are right there. But don't just think of, you know, taco night, think Sundays, all the toppings you have on Sundays, or if you have a salad bar. Not everybody likes a salad like you do, so let them mix and match their salad, putting all your salad toppings in your serving center. It's not a one-trick pony, okay? And when they're getting their plate and their burger, they're gonna need some silverware, right? So what I like to do is use my Piccadilly to hold the silverware. You're thinking, no, Piccadillys are for pickles. It's okay, you can use things for other things, right? And you get 2 for $20 right now, so you might as well use it, take advantage of it. But the great thing about this is kind of a sanitary thing. When somebody goes to grab a fork, you don't want them touching all the other forks and spoons in the batch, right? So when you lift it up, watch what happens. Look how they kind of fan out like that. So now you can easily grab your knife or your fork or your spoon in your little Piccadilly, okay? So this is the Piccadilly small, and that is perfect for your little silverware caddy. All right, so now that they've had their burger and they got their plate, now it's time for a hot dog, right? And if you're traveling in the car or you're going to the ballpark and watching a game, or you're going to the soccer field, you can pack your hot dog in one of your straight-sided tumblers. So this is our classic 16-ounce tumbler, and inside I put a hot dog in the bun inside the tumbler. And what a great way to travel with it. You can seal it up, and voila, you have a little hot dog on the go, right? And they have somewhere to put it when they're done. They have, you know, all the mess can go right back inside. And another little tip is our snack cup seal will fit on the 16-ounce tumbler. It'll fit on the snack cup, and it'll fit on the half snack cup and the bell tumbler. So this little seal right here can go far in Tupperware. It'll seal up a lot of things. All right, so we had our hot dog now. We had it on the go. Now we're gonna wanna get some dessert. You guys ready for some dessert? Well, there's nothing I can't stand more of is somebody who steals all the ice cream. Okay, that person who takes like 4 or 5 scoops when they should only have 1. Okay, so if you're busting out a cake or your cobbler and you want everybody to have their own perfectly portioned ice cream scoop, pull out your muffin form and scoop out the ice cream ahead of time, put it in the muffin form, and turn it over onto their plate, or scoop it out with your ice cream scoop, and they have the perfect portion ice cream, of course, on their picnic platter, right? So nobody's going to take more than they're supposed to, and there's going to be enough ice cream for everybody at your event. All right, that's your dessert. but everybody has to go home now, and you gave them wine and alcohol and all these other things. They might not be ready to drive. Okay, so when they come through the door, you make sure you collect their keys in one of your Thatsables. And at the end of the night, you bust out that good old Shapo toy. And when they can complete that Shapo toy in 60 seconds or less, they can grab their keys and go home. Because you know what? It'll be the Shapo toy telling them they're not ready to drive and they have to stay and play a few more games of Scrabble or have a cup of coffee. It's the Shapo toy telling them, oh, sorry, buddy, if you can't do a child's toy, you can't drive a car, right? So there is your Tupperware tips used kind of outside the box for your rainy day barbecue or while you're on the go or having people over your house.